What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. I hope everybody is doing extremely well. This is a different start out to one of my videos. It's actually like 9 o'clock at night. Let me see here. Yeah, 9:09 at night. I just got off work and got back home not too terribly long ago. And typically I don't like to start videos out at night or in the evening time, but we kind of have no choice right now, because if you guys watched the last video, we are having some difficulties getting this air conditioning to charge and work like it's supposed to. That light evidently is going to need replaced, but I wanted to bring something to everybody's attention, and something that I'm going to replace that I don't think a lot of people know about, or a lot of people really think about, because I did not think about this myself until somebody else on my Snapchat actually brought this up to me. And it's actually right here. It's this little bitty switch, and here's the part number. This is a Murray part. You can get them at pretty much any parts store. I wanted to get the AC Delco part, but nobody had them in stock, and I did not really have the opportunity to wait a couple of days for them to come in. This is the AC fan clutch switch. So pretty much a little relay switch that actually mounts to the side of your accumulator, right up on the side right there, and pretty much tells the compressor when to kick on, when to shut off, and all that. So basically, the guy who sent me this, he said, hey, you know, I had problems with my AC not working, and replaced some things, and it all kind of boiled down to this little switch. And so I figured, you know what, it's 18 bucks. I'm gonna give it a shot and see what we can make happen, because I had another person that actually works on vehicles, recharges AC systems and stuff like that, actually recommend that I vacuum down the system and use one of these cans with this trigger to actually force the refrigerant into the compressor. And usually, he said, usually they kick on and everything's all good, it wants to take charge. Well, the refrigerant went in, but the compressor won't kick on long enough, or just won't kick on at all, to really do anything and make the refrigerant come through the vents and to flow the AC through the system. Now, this vehicle air conditioning is extremely complicated, it turns out. There's a lot to it. It doesn't seem like there's that much, but there's actually quite a bit going on to it. And honestly, if this doesn't work, and the only reason that I'm doing this late tonight is we are going to take the truck to a shop in the morning. If this doesn't work, this is kind of a last ditch effort before I have to spend some money on taking it to a shop and having them put their their big machine on here. This is kind of a last ditch effort to see if this is going to work. So if this does work, that would be awesome. If it doesn't, potentially have to take it to the shop tomorrow. So we're gonna see if this is gonna work. This is super easy to replace. It literally unplugs and screws off with a wrench, and all it is this little guy right here. Here's your plug. It's a 2-pin plug, and the sensor portion plugs into the accumulator right there. And from what I've read online and what I've seen in other videos, is you do not have to evacuate your AC system to do this. It says that you will lose just a little bit of refrigerant in the process, but if you unscrew it, put the new one back on, screw it on, in a fairly short amount of time, you should be okay. Now, the sensor does have a little O-ring that sits inside of here, so be sure that that is included with your sensor. You're going to need that to keep the seal, of course. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this ready to go. And I've just got a crescent wrench. And one thing that I have to mention to you guys is a way to test this is, if you don't know if this is working or not, you could actually stick a paper clip in both sides of this connector. And once you stick that paper clip in there, your AC compressor should kick on, and it's just going to keep going and going and going until you take that paper clip out. And if that happens, say your truck is running, you have some refrigerant in the system, the compressor does never kick on, and you do that and it kicks on, then chances are you might have a faulty sensor. So literally all you have to do, get you a crescent wrench or find the size that you need, put it on here, unscrew it, it screws right out, and put your new one back in, plug it back in, and everything should be good to go. It may or may not look very good, we'll see. but you just have to, you know, like I said, get that loosened up, and you're going to start hearing that refrigerant trying to come out. And it just kind of seals itself off. Of course, there's a helicopter, so it kind of seals itself off. And because there is a little Schrader valve in here, so you don't have to worry about losing all your coolant or your refrigerant. That's why you don't have to evacuate. But you can see there's some nastiness. There's some, you know, gunk and stuff. I don't know if you can really see that. There's some gunk and stuff really built up in this old one. But that's exactly how easy it is. Now the old O-ring is right here. You want to make sure that you do remove the old one. And some of these accumulators, they probably come with a new switch, but this specific AC Delco one did not. Now what we're going to do is take our new sensor, screw it on here. Actually, we're going to put the O-ring on first. Got a little collar right there, so it's really can't go anywhere else. Just screw it back on. Yeah, it is made of plastic. Unfortunately, the little hex head is made of plastic. Little body's made of metal. So you don't want to over tighten it. Remember, once it's snug, leave it alone, because we don't want to break that little plastic body. So just like that, it's snug, leave it alone. Find somewhere for our wrench. And now we're going to take this and plug it back in. Plug only fits on one way. And there that is. Super simple, easy, really easy little switch to replace. And see if that compressor kicks on, because I mean there is refrigerant in the system, so it really should. Turn the AC off. All right, right now, of course, the compressor is not kicked on because the AC is not turned on. I'm gonna go ahead and turn that on. Let's get that really fired up. I heard the compressor kick on, but it's not coming on. It's not kicking on for as long as it needs to really pump that refrigerant through the system for some reason. That's what we can't figure out. See, it kicks on just for a few seconds. All right, I gotta put our gauge on. We're gonna see what this is charged at. Put our gauge on here. Now this is just obviously just one of those little cheap ones, and this is showing that it's filled. All right, so I don't think we're gonna get that lucky of it being that easy. Still gonna have to take it in the morning to the shop. On the plus side, the compressor does work now. It does kick on and off like it is supposed to, I believe. Just not staying on long enough. There's something that's out of balance with the pressures, something that I don't have the ability to read here, so I'm gonna have to have them see if they could hook it up to their AC machine and see what's going on. But yeah, I'm going to get this grill thrown back in and get this thing put back together and make it where I could drive it. All right, back together, all the lights and everything put back in, and we're ready to take her to the shop. So I will see you all in the morning, bright and early. Gentlemen, it's like 7 o'clock. Gonna run this thing out to the shop. This is gonna be the same shop that I took it to have him set the timing. As you guys remember, you have to have a special machine in order to set the timing and everything on these trucks. So I took it to this specific shop, and this is really the only shop I've ever taken it to, so we're going to do that again. Now, as I've said previously, we usually try to figure things out ourselves, but this case, it's just not going to happen. So, one problem at a time, we're going to figure this out, but that's the life of an OBS owner. And yeah, it's kind of weird getting this thing out if you're, I'm not used to driving it. I don't drive it very often. It's still dirty from taking it to Mother Road Mayhem back in what was it, May? I think back in May. So we're just gonna enjoy a little bit of drive time with the truck, listen to some music from the new stereo, and just head over to the shop. All right, we're at Ken Owen's shop here on South Campbell here in Springfield. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to leave it for the day and see if they can diagnose and figure out what's wrong with it. But hopefully they come up with an answer. I told them I didn't really want to leave it for the weekend, but if I have to, then I have to. So we shall see. Yeah, if you know, you guys are like me, you know, you have a hard time trusting people, especially leaving your vehicle at a place. You know, that's just how I am. I know a lot of people they do it all the time, but we usually don't. Now check out this Bronco. Not sure of the year, but this thing's super clean. And evidently the guy that owns it, I mean, he's got a full like new style center console and dash, air conditioning, all sorts of stuff in there. Evidently the guy that owns it turned down a pretty good chunk of money for it. So these things are worth quite a bit. Yeah, and this is a good reason why I trust this place. And if they can take care of something like that, surely they can take care of the AC in my 97 Silverado. All right, back home. Truck is at the shop, and yeah, you know, like I was saying, it's hard for me to trust just dropping it off somewhere. You know, I want to be there, and want to be. I don't know why. That's just how I am. I like to be there. It's like when I'm getting the exhaust work done or something like that. You know, I'll just sit there and wait for it to get done instead of leaving it and coming back. But that's just kind of how I am, because you know, some places, a lot of shops out there they'll try to upsell you on stuff. You know, you'll take your vehicle in for one thing. You know, say take your vehicle in because it's not blowing cold AC. Vehicle comes back out with, yeah, we got the AC fixed, but turns out we needed to replace the accumulator, and we needed to replace the evaporator, so we had to tear the whole dash apart and get it done. And that's going to be $1,500, and that's why a lot of people don't like taking their vehicles to shops, versus other people don't have any problem doing that. So I guess we're just going to wait on a phone call, see what the news is. Like I said, I don't really want to leave it over the weekend. If it does have to be left over the weekend, it is what it is. If they can't figure it out, you know, I would rather leave it there and give them more of an opportunity to find out what's going on and get that taken care of, because if I bring it back, it's just going to be the same situation. So I don't know. We'll see what's going on. If we get a phone call later today, it's only 8:22, so there's plenty of day left, and I guess we'll just go from there. All right, so I had to go to work after dropping the truck off at the shop. Dropped that off at 7:30 this morning. You know, told them what was going on as far as, you know, all the new parts put on, what it's not wanting to do, not wanting to take charge. You know, it takes in the refrigerant, but it does not disperse it, if you know, if that makes sense. But yeah, they were pretty confused about that too. It seems like everybody seems to be pretty, you know, pretty stumped as far as that goes. You know, so like I said, just really tired of trying to figure it out, tired of spending time and, you know, all the money that I spent on trying to replace these parts. So I just left it there, and probably about 4:30 or so, I got a phone call from the shop, and no, we can't figure out exactly how this happened. So he was like, hey, I've got your truck torn apart right now, and looks like your condenser's got a blockage. You know, and I'm talking to him like, you know, that's a brand new condenser. How could a brand new condenser have a blockage? And you know, then he was asking me, well, did you have an orifice tube in the condenser? And I said, yeah, it came with one. The orifice tube sits right here. We go over to the old condenser. There's no orifice tube. You know, it was already pre-installed. I pulled it out, checked it, and make sure it was indeed an orifice tube and not some kind of cap or something, you know, just plug in the hole. And it was an orifice tube. And he said, well, it's not there anymore. So where did the orifice tube go? The orifice tube got sucked into the condenser. You can't get it back out. It's wedged in there somewhere where he can't get it back out. And I don't know if you guys remember, in one of the other videos of changing all the parts out, I explained that the condenser that we took out of the truck did not have an orifice tube in it, and I know that there was one in it. So the same issue that originally caused this, a whole AC problem, just started onto this new condenser. So I told him, say, man, just I guess order a new condenser and see if we can get this figured out, man, because as far as we're considered, we don't have any more options. So as you can see behind me, empty space in the garage. Always weird when the truck is not here with me, but you know, like I said, got to do what we got to do in order to get this issue taken care of. So hopefully Monday we'll hear some good news, but yeah, we just got to play a waiting game. But yeah, we've got lots more to come on the truck. After we get these small issues sorted out, we get to start back up with the fun stuff again, I promise. But anyway, guys, hopefully something in this video helps you all out. If y'all are having any issues with your air conditioning, it could be the same kind of problems that I am having. And like I said, it started before the engine swap and is continuing on with all these new parts. But that clutch sensor that we replaced earlier in the video really does make a difference if your AC compressor is not activating like it should be. So definitely check that out if you are having issues with your AC compressor clutch turning on like it's supposed to. Otherwise, guys, I would really appreciate it if you give a like to this video. Really helps out. I appreciate each and every one of you that continue to watch, all of the new subscribers. I appreciate you guys. Views are starting to kind of climb just a little bit again, so it's really giving me a lot of motivation to make new videos on different content for the truck. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great weekend. Have a great week, and we will see you all in the next video.